competition up like a Hannibal. Know the game like I wrote up the manual. I do weekly what you do on the annual. MVP, that decision unanimous. Big dials, I don't think they can handle it. Battlefield, it's just me and my warriors. Guaranteed we emerging victorious. Years, blood, sweat, tears is glorious. I remember when they always ignoring us. Dash, got it on, smash, foot on the gas. I will not crash, they will not stop me. Tenfold, copy.
Coach, thank you much. EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the City of Angels, Los Angeles, California. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Philadelphia Eagles and the Los Angeles Rams. Set to go now in Week 6 of the NFL season, and we are underway on EA Sports. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25.
Take over first and 10 at their own 26-yard line.
Here we go. Ram.
They will run for the first time with Miles Sanders. It'll go as a loss of 3 right away, and it's second down.
The evolution of Clay Matthews as a player, it's just one that they're going to end up writing books about. He didn't even start until his senior year at USC. He didn't start in high school. And now he's at all-pro level in the NFL. How about the play he just made there?
Yeah, he has certainly made a name for himself. William Clay Matthews III. Trying for the tight end, Ertz, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Corey Littleton. And they're going to set up shop at the 27-yard line. Well, certainly not how he wanted to start his night. First throw of the game, an INT.
Yeah, it's not easy, but he's got to try and wipe that one away from the memory banks. And let's face it, it's not often a quarterback and a defensive back have a lot in common. But one thing, because they have these individual-type plays, they've got to have short memories, don't they? DB gets beat, wipe it away, quarterback throws a pick, has to do the same thing.
Well, they are able to stop him, but he does take it all the way to the 2. 25 yards, the pickup there, and also a first down.
But he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral, also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they...
And he takes it across for a Rams touchdown. Todd Gurley with touchdown number 7 on the year. And they are able to strike first here on their opening drive. Tavecchio good on the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. They had the interception last time. It led to the opening touchdown. So now 7-0 the score as they start first and 10. They throw right away, and that's complete out on the right side. And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32. They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, second and 3. Throwing is Wentz. But he's got the hook up here to Deshaun Jackson. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that...
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Samson Abukum able to record his 5th sack of the season.
They just gave up a sack there, and if I'm not mistaken, they gave up 4 last week, didn't they?
Yes, and just looking really porous, aren't they?
They really are, and I'm wondering if they're going to have to start thinking about keeping the tight end in, maybe a back, someone to help assist, because right now, the quarterback's been getting hit a lot in the last couple of games.
And he's going to go down again. Emmanuel Ogbah in there to drop him, and sacks on first and second downs. Now leads to a 3rd and long. Eagles coming up here on a 3rd and long, so Wentz and company with some work to do after the sack. Shotgun now for Wentz. for the deep ball. And unable to connect. Incomplete. I'll give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
The L.A. offense ready to go for their next drive. They'll be looking to duplicate the efforts of drive number 1 that resulted in 7 points in the 7-zip lead.
Well, you know how much I enjoy horse racing, right? Looks like they caught a flyer out of the gate, as they would say when you're running the big-time races. Means they get out to a fast start. They're setting the pace, making the other team chase now.
Brings up 2nd and 1 at the 27-yard line.
The last run got 9. That leaves them with 2nd and a yard.
Bang, 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 bang. Switch. Go. Go ahead, baby. Go. Watch the safety creep. Hurry up, be driven.
They'll try a handoff right with Gurley. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. 6 yards to pick up, and that's a 1st down. Well, they're making an effort to get the ground game going tonight. So far, it's working.
I like what we're seeing from the offensive line. They seem to have the leverage going, and they're controlling things and reestablishing the line of scrimmage, moving that defensive front backwards. But also like what the runner's giving us, too. It appears that he's been waiting all day long to get out here and take off.
Here we go.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. McSorley sets to pass. He's letting it fly for Cooks. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on. 3rd down.
How about this offense? Already feeling good about themselves with a touchdown already in their first drive. They've certainly come out firing, even though that one was incomplete.
With the 7-0 lead, more apt to take a shot like that downfield?
Hey, you're 1 to the good. Go ahead and try and press your advantage.
Ready.
On 3rd down, it's McSorley. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Fletcher Cox, the former Mississippi State Bulldog, ringing the cowbell there on the sack.
2 sacks last week, another one right here. He's been unblockable lately, and I think that goes all the way back to not just his offseason, but the film study he's been doing during the week, because I think he's found matchups that he likes, and he's capitalizing.
A few times he's even defeated double teams. He doesn't care at this point. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And the results for them have not been strong to this point. 2 drives have ended in a turnover and then a punt.
So would it be too snarky for me to say that they've shown improvement? Because you had two drives with turnovers. Now they punted it away, so at least they didn't turn it over. So that's good, right?
You're going to get some angry users reaching out to you on social media.
Well, I don't mean to be. I was actually looking for the positive. Silver lining, you know.
Gonna look deep for Jeffrey. And that's gonna be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
One of the toughest things about playing defensive back is pattern reading, trying to figure out what they're doing. And on that one, they had the fly, just sending a guy downfield with the in route accompanying it, what people call a dagger route, trying to hit the guy underneath after the clear out. In this case, though, they're not able to get it done.
Yeah, they said forget the underneath route. They went for the guy on the fly, but as you said, incomplete. Touchdown, Philadelphia! Deshaun Jackson, his 4th touchdown on the year, as his guys are on the board here in this first quarter. Point after, up and good, and we are tied at 7. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The L.A. offense ready to go for their next drive. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means they're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule.
Todd Gurley, wave goodbye. He's at the 30. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Rams. Todd Gurley with his second touchdown of the game, number 8 on the season. And the Rams have taken the lead. Extra point up and good by Tavecchio. And that makes the score 14-7. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line.
Let's go. Let's go. At their own 19-yard line.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do?
And the defense loses him. It's complete. And he'll take it into the end zone for an Eagles touchdown. Deshaun Jackson, 81 yards, as they are an extra point away now from tying this football game. Extra point splits the uprights, and we are tied at 14. This one tied at 14 now as he sends this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. And this will probably be the last play of the quarter.
Hey, Delta. Me and you all day. All day. I'm coming after you.
Looking to throw on 1st and 10. Here's McSorley. And he'll be taken down as that will take us to the end of the first quarter of play. These two teams all tied after one. Second quarter now from Los Angeles. It is the Rams in possession as they've got it with a 1st and 10. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
Check 13. 22 jet bomber. 22 jet bomber. Go.
McSorley, 1st and 10. And the open receiver, it's Robert Woods. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. Good yardage after the catch. Is that play good for 30 and a first? So that changes things a bit. Here's a 1st and 10 all the way down at the 35.
47's the mic. 47's the mic. You're not ready. Hey, Jet, now.
Here's Gurley now out of the gun. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
70, Indy. 47. Go.
Brings up 2nd and 9 at the 34-yard line.
On 2nd and 9. McSorley. He'll fire one end zone for... And it'll be intercepted. Picked off by the former first-rounder Jimmy Ward.
Oh, timing is everything on a route like this. He tried to drive that football into a tight spot. And if you're a little early or a little late, chances are there's going to be someone there. And sure enough, this one's going the other way.
Boy, nowhere to go at all on that first down run as they will get to him behind the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of 1, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11. Wentz now to throw. He's going to let this go deep for Jake. A battle for it, and it's intercepted. Good positioning, and it's picked off. And his guys will set up shop at midfield at the 50-yard line. So good field position for the Rams as they come up 1st and 10 right at the 50-yard line. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Rush coming, and he's taken down.
Well, so much for setting the tone of the drive offensively. Giving up a big sack that loses that kind of yardage, not a great start.
Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21. 2nd down, it's Henderson. Room to run past midfield. And he's going to get this into enemy territory at the 45. I was pretty surprised there when they lined up to run it on 2nd and long, but it worked out for them.
It certainly did, and that requires some confidence, some fortitude, and a little bit of hope, doesn't it? You hope you catch the defense just right and break off a big run to help yourself out on the next down.
Ready, set. 52. Block 52. Hey, foxtrot, foxtrot. Check 52's the mic. Check 52's the mic. Hey, keep it up, keep it up. Check 37. Keep it.
McSorley from the shotgun. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. The sack by Brandon Graham. He's been doing that since he entered the league in 2010.
And plays like that really hurt play calling. They had a really nice gain on the previous play, but gave about half the yardage back on the sack. Excellent pressure up front. Nowhere to go with the football. Down he goes. That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb. They start on the ground here at Sanders. As Sanders has it poked free.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. To throw on 2nd and 6. Wentz, and complete to Zach Ertz. And he's able to get this one all the way past the 30. 23 yards the pickup there. Wentz now closing in on a 200-yard first half through the air. It's 1st and 10.
We're good.
Working from the gun. Wentz caught by the tight end Ertz. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down.
They really love to get him into one-on-one opportunities, and this is one way. Work him out of the slot and create a mismatch. Who's going to cover him? Corner, safety, linebacker? He's got a way to beat all of those positions.
That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. Second quarter, 2 minutes to go. Tie ball game. Coming up in a couple of minutes, we'll get you to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. The coach will have stats and scores from earlier today in the NFL. Throwing again on 2nd down. Wentz. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Deshaun Jackson on his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns as his guys are able to regain the lead. So not only is that his 3rd touchdown catch of the game, he's done it here in the first half.
I'm not sure defensively what they're going to come up with to slow him down, because already we're seeing him run past, over, through guys in order to make these catches. And being able to try and shut him down at this stage of the game, it's going to take a lot of effort. So maybe it'll open things up for some other people.
Well, they better figure something out, and soon. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This is taken at the 3. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line.
At their own 23-yard line.
The LA offense ready to go for their next drive. They'll look for a drive to tie this up, down 21-14 as they have it 1st and 10. They'll start out on the ground with Gurley. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
Well, he was looking for some running room, and there wasn't a whole lot of it there on that play. I think he was lucky to get a couple yards out of it, because those defenders, they were rallying to the football pretty quickly.
25-yard line.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. They run. It's Gurley. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. So naturally they will decline it. They got the first down anyway on the play.
Who needs a penalty when you picked up the first down through hard work and effort anyway? First down.
So the face mask, quite a blessing there as they'll start out of harm's way with a 1st and 10. Gurley. And some room to run now. He's able to rip off 32 on that one. It's a first down.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember the last drive, they went 3 and out.
So the big play has them all the way down to the 30 now for 1st and 10.
Double up, double up. He's coming, double up. Check 30, let's go.
Henderson now on 1st and 10. Oh, he's got a little daylight. Touchdown, LA! Darrell Henderson, his 2nd touchdown on the season, as they are an extra point away now from tying this football game. These two teams in this first half, it's been fun. Back and forth, back and forth. Well, it's not fun for the defensive coordinators, but offensive coordinators are enjoying it.
Yeah, they're having streaks here, aren't they? Being able to put scores together and really bunch them up, and we have a tight game here. You know, we often talk about having the right shoes for the right turf. Today it's track shoes. That's what we've seen with these offenses.
Yeah, it's been an absolute track meet so far and fun to watch. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. Tie ball game, still a little more than a minute to go in the half. The question, can they put something together here, try to take that lead into intermission?
I would have to think that would be the goal for sure. I don't think you sit on anything here. Here's your opportunity. Push it downfield. As you mentioned, it's a tie game. So minus a disaster on your part, you've got that in your back pocket. Go ahead and try and get some points and feel great going into the half.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Now Sanders. He'll have a first down past the 40. And he's got some space here. And finally marked down at the 42-yard line. The Eagles going to take the first of their timeouts as the clock stops here with 46 seconds remaining in the first half. So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. Throwing now is Wentz. And they're going to get him. He's taken down for a sack back at the 47-yard line. The Rams going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. Wentz going to throw. Oh, he's able to outmuscle him here as he pulls it in. Now the Eagles will use the 2nd of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 34 seconds to go before halftime. First down, Wentz. And he's going to be taken down back around the 35-yard line. Emmanuel Ogbah able to record his 5th sack of the season. So 2nd and long, and got to be careful not to fall out of field goal range. Wentz, and the pressure gets to him again. Now is signaling a timeout call as it comes with 9 seconds to go in this first half of play. Eagles coming up here on a 3rd and long, so Wentz and company with some work to do after the sack. From the gun, it's Wentz. Flushed out right. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked up by the linebacker, Corey Littleton. And he will be brought down as time is now run out on this first half of action. So we've reached halftime in a wild first half. We'll take a minute to catch our breath as we'll send you back over to Orlando with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Here's Jonathan Coachman. And ready to get the party started for the second half. It was an even first half, all tied on the scoreboard. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. The LA offense ready to go for their next drive. First half showed us some pretty good offense. Tie game, we'll see what the second half brings.
And it'll be interesting because I think both sides feel pretty good about what their offenses are doing. Got to wonder what adjustments are being made defensively to try and get a spark and maybe slow down the other side.
But here, do you change up anything on this opening drive?
Not offensively, you don't. You got everything going your way. You're probably prepared for maybe some change-ups you might expect, but overall, you like what your game plan's showing you.
It's a first down on a gain of 10. He continues to have a big night here under the lights carrying the football.
And some guys prefer night games. For whatever reason, their bodies react a certain way. They love the spotlight. Maybe that's what it is. The best seats in the house, the ones where he's carrying the football for his offensive teammates. The worst seats, the 11 guys trying to tackle him on defense.
They go with Gurley on first down, but he goes nowhere. They bottle him up for a loss of a couple. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down.
60 out more. Go, 2.
Now this time he'll look to throw. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's third down. So, Charles, tie game here. What are your keys as we continue to play this second half?
I know people think it's always trite when you say the same things over and over, but they're tried and true in the game of football. Who's going to block better? Who's going to tackle better? In this case, to me, it's turnovers. You've got to take care of the football in order to win the game.
He's going to dump it off to Gurley. And he can only get this to the 42-yard line, and that is not near enough.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. The field position game, such an overlooked facet, Charles, of an NFL game, but this offense, they're going to be pinned back. What an ideal punt.
An ideal punt, and it leads to that term complementary football, because them doing that puts their defense in a great spot, doesn't it? Gives them a chance. If they want to be aggressive, try and maybe get a safety out of this whole thing, it puts them in that position.
It'll be Sanders to begin the drive. And he's only able to work this from the 8 to the 10 for a pickup of 2.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
And he'll find some room to get this up to about the 14.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Let's bring it.
Wentz going to try and throw on third. But this is caught by Jackson. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Deshaun Jackson taking it in as his guys have now moved out in front. Extra point safely through. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This is taken at his 4. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. The LA offense ready to go for their next drive. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10.
Yeah, let's get sack lunch.
Again they run with Gurley. And he will lose yardage on the play. Back at his own 19-yard line. They call that a loss of 6 yards. And it's 3rd down now. And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game.
47's the mic, boy. 47. Check, 47. On the ball.
Here's McSorley now, 3rd and long. And that is incomplete.
The one with the dime look that time on defense just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
And he gets it away, and it's a laser headed for the sidelines. And no return here. Where will they spot it? They say just outside the 20-yard line. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And we have seen a lot on the scoreboard here in this quarter. So sometimes you talk to me about tendency breakers on offense. These defenses struggling. Are there tendency breakers on defense?
All defensive coordinators keep something in their hip pocket for these types of situations. What can we do to slow down the onslaught? But the biggest thing is making sure these guys encourage each other, pick themselves up, because right now it's been a really tough ball game trying to stop these offenses.
Oh, it really has, especially as of late. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Now Wentz. He's going to let this go deep for Jackson. That's caught inside the 20. And great yardage here all the way deep into Los Angeles territory. Well, even after all those interceptions, he's not deterred, still confident to go deep at work there.
I think all the old rules about playing that position still apply. If things go wrong, you still act like you're the best player out on the field. You still carry that supreme arrogance with you and continue to fire the ball. I've seen guys have games like this, and this is where you find out if you're great or not. Can you overcome some interceptions and still lead your team to victory?
A gain of 4. It's now 2nd and 6 at the 11-yard line.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. Now Wentz. And the Rams got him. They bring him down. Samson Abuka in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. Trying to get one more in here before the quarter breaks. One quarter remains here on a Sunday night. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. The Eagles on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is going to be 3rd and 13. And he finds his tight end. It's Ertz. Good defense holds him to only a yard, and it'll be 4th down.
One of the money routes for any offense, the drag route. So tough to defend because the receiver can stop at any point and make himself available to the quarterback and get a completion. But I love the communication we saw there. All the defenders pointing out the receiver, where he was going, and then they're able to rally to the ball after the catch and stop him short of a first down.
Let's go, baby. Let's go.
At their own 25-yard line. The Rams take over first and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The LA offense ready to go for their next drive. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. Throwing on 2nd down, McSorley. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. The Rams on 3rd down. Not good, 0 for 4 thus far. This will be a tough 3rd and 18. Out of the shotgun, McSorley. Brought in here by Tyler Eifert. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. It's a gain of 26 as they pick up the first down in the process.
This possession means so much for them. They've got to focus on this drive and find a way to make this a one-possession game. Got to get a score.
Yeah, so good with a field goal. Don't necessarily need a touchdown. Yet another carry here tonight for Gurley. And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory. A gain there of 12 yards and a first down L.A. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. Here's Henderson. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Now on 2nd down, this is Gurley. And he's going to take this close to the first down markers. He stopped at the Eagles' 38. They go play action now with McSorley. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the former first-rounder Jimmy Ward. And he will bring this across midfield to the 49-yard line. Both defenses have had their struggles, but they've been good enough to get them this lead, and another nice play there to help preserve the lead.
It's been a game of punch-counter-punch, hasn't it? All throughout. But this time, the big swing was taken, and it didn't land. Nice play by them on defense.
Here we go, backman. 58, right there. I got one.
On 1st and 10, it's Sanders. And he'll get this into enemy territory, but not by much as he's down to the 48. The Rams going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. To throw is Wentz. He'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. Now the Rams will signal for a timeout, their second. That's going to leave them with just 1 remaining here in this 4th quarter. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
And the blitz does come. Nickel Roby-Coleman there defensively.
This defense could use some more of these types of plays. How about him reading it, driving on the football, and he's right there for the pass breakup.
And here now the punter, Martin, booming this one away. Oh, he'll field it in the end zone. A nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And the Rams will be backed up deep to begin the drive as they take over 1st and 10. The LA offense ready to go for their next drive. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. Of course, they'd like to forget the inning, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off.
And Gurley fumbled it. Gurley fumbles the football. It's loose. And it's picked up by the Eagles. And they will take over at the 26-yard line. Another costly turnover, their second of this second half. And earlier when I asked you your keys to the second half, you said, hey, it may be trite, but I think it's turnovers. That's coming to fruition.
It certainly is, and let's face it, they named the game after it, right? So isn't it the most important thing?
It's football.
Exactly. They named the game for it. Take care of it.
The Rams going to be forced to use their 3rd and final timeout. So that will leave them with no timeouts left. Still plenty of time on the clock. We'll see how that affects things here in this 4th quarter. And only able to muster a couple down to about the 27.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Eagle football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. On 3rd down, they turn to Sanders. There he goes, right side. And he'll take it into the end zone for an Eagles touchdown. Miles Sanders, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Eagles take advantage of good field position on the turnover to cash this one in. Extra point right down the middle. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The LA offense ready to go for their next drive. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride.
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, Coach, what do you want to call? He just waved a hand like, who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time. But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them. The previous run, good for 9. Here's 2nd and a yard. Another carry now for Gurley. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a 1st down.
They were not fooling around at all, were they? 2nd and short, and they brought out the heavy package. Almost felt like the super heavy package against that defense, didn't it?
Yeah, I don't think they expected that much beef up front, and it turned into an easy 1st down conversion. Gurley with a carry on 1st down. He'll only get a couple. 2nd and 8 forthcoming. Brought down by Nate Gehry.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
Set 90 Wolf. Greystone travel. Deep rip.
On the counter, Gurley. 4 yards on the pickup there as it'll leave him with a 3rd and about 4 more for a 1st.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th. And no move to get the offense off the field. They're going on 4th and 5. He's going to let it fly. And for a 3rd time tonight, he's intercepted. Picked off by Ronald Darby. And that will write a finish to this ball game. So fly, Eagles, fly. It's a victory for Philadelphia, and they were really helped by their defense, forcing 3 turnovers.
I think what we saw in this one, today's defense. And what I mean by that is in the old days, pitching shutouts was big time. That was paramount. But the big thing was holding people down, holding down their yardage, right? Don't let them throw the ball through the air and gain a lot of... But now, it's about taking the ball away. Taking away possessions, getting the ball back for their offense. They had 3 takeaways in this one, and it led them to victory.
So for the Eagles, they boost their record up to a strong 4-1. And they'll get another road test next week as they have to go to New Orleans to take on the Saints. Meanwhile, for the Rams, the loss will drop them to 4-2 on the year. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. That'll do it for us. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis.